Jon Adams.
Correct.
That's 1 point.
Battle of Hastings, when was it?
1066.
Correct. How old were you when you first ever decided to become an artist?
6. So you want me to explain about
Yeah,
that?
sorry, yeah.
Okay. I was 6 when I first decided I was going to become an artist. I was having my portrait drawn at the time, and someone said, "What are you going to do when you grow up?" And I said, "I'm going to be an artist." Didn't know that's what I was going to be. I kind of felt it inside, so it just seemed the most perfect thing to say.
Art has a very immediate impact in that it conveys, without words, so it's accessible to everybody, the experience of dyslexia.
I mean, I like Jon's work because Jon's work is a very easily understandable and accessible concept. I think because of Jon's challenges around the written word, he's able to create pieces of work which are totally intelligible through a spoken medium. So he can talk to you about it, and within minutes you understand what he's trying to get to, where it's come from, and why that's an important thing.
I was officially diagnosed with dyslexia in 1999. Dyslexia kind of held me back at school, although it wasn't called dyslexia then. Back in the early 70s there was talk about specific learning difficulties and dyslexia, but not at my school. I was kind of just called stupid and thick and even retarded just because I couldn't read and write properly. And that, combined with the Asperger's, did have an effect, because if the teacher bullied me, when I got out in the playground, all the kids joined in. It certainly knocked my confidence right down. I hated the spelling tests on a Monday morning, couldn't learn them over a weekend, and all my work always got thrown back, scribbled out and written in red.
Dyslexia is a difficulty with the acquisition of written language skills. So most people think of it as being about difficulty learning to read, but actually dyslexics have difficulty with learning to spell, sometimes with writing, handwriting and written prose. They can also have difficulty with things like short-term memory, organisational skills, and there can be aspects of difficulty with learning other symbolic materials, so it can go into learning musical notation, difficulty learning some aspects of maths.
Dyslexia is a difference in the brain where dyslexic people actually learn and see things differently. So dyslexia, to me, it's a benefit.
I'm only disabled by my dyslexia if someone asks me to read and write. I mean, my biggest disability has been my lack of self-confidence, again imposed by what happened to me at school. You know, the reading and writing you can get past, you can camouflage it, you can make do. The problem solving is a really good skill, thinking in 3D is a really good skill, visual recognition, pattern making, all those things you need to do to be creative.
I think it's tremendously important for everybody actually to have the opportunity to be able to express themselves, and for dyslexics sometimes the written route and the educational attainment route is severely restricted for them.
It's very important for them. One of the things, coming back to a personal thing, confidence is what's got me where I am today. Confidence is the thing. People being able to express themselves in any medium, so as in art, as in photography, as in dance even, is a big thing.
The British Dyslexia Association is the voice of dyslexic people. It's been in existence for almost 40 years. The aim is to bring about a dyslexia-friendly society. So we work within education, within employment, and right across the age ranges. We also run a number of conferences, some for teachers, some for employers. And we run teacher training courses for teachers who want to go on to qualify as dyslexia specialist teachers.
It's funny because, you know, no matter who does this now, it'll always be Dysarticulate. You know, it'll always be the Flags project.
I think it's important to take part in these things and to feel that we have an understanding of how people engage with them.
We feel that making flags to get general public involved is like a good way, as again, to raise awareness about the Olympics.
I've brought a group of 18 sports diploma students down. It was advertised locally. We're invited to come down and contribute towards the start of the countdown for the London Olympics. So we thought it would be a good opportunity to come down and hopefully spread that message a little.
Obviously with dyslexia it's like hard to take on more, but anybody could they could join in.
What I'd like from this year is I'd like more people to do it. I'd like people around the world to do it. I'd like more people to join in, more people to take the initiative to do it themselves. I'd like it to be seen. I'd like to really do it bigger and better in 2012.
People are going to be planting flags out in the square. Some have been ready-made. Other people are being invited to make their own flags using portions of unused books that really have reached the end of their life, because the artist Jon Adam, who is orchestrating this, is dyslexic himself, so the idea of using the books has a certain symbolic importance, I think.
It's kind of doing things where people are passing. You know, when we do this for Open Weekend, people can go out and plant their flags in private places.
I think it's really nice because anyone can just do that, and it drags people's attention. Like everyone's looking like, well, what are they doing? That's why we came here, because we saw that.
You know, sometimes the publicity and the opportunity is worth more than the money. You go for the opportunity, and then someone might offer you something to do it.
People often think of public art as something that you can see behind you, the statue of Queen Victoria, something that is static, just gets planted and then people forget about this. But people are being invited to take part in this as a participation event. They can see it. It won't last as long as Queen Victoria, but people possibly may remember it more because they've been involved. They've had a chance to put a flag in the middle of Guildhall Square rather than just walking past any old statue.
We've been privileged to be able to do some work with Jon. He has inspired us, actually.
I have a lovely feeling that if this project continues to grow, there's this wonderful moment where you'll be standing by a cafe or a supermarket and you'll suddenly just see a little flag planted in the flower bed somewhere. And if we can get to that point, that becomes a really exciting journey. That you just see that flag and you go, I know why that flag's there. That's really cool. And I'd love to get to that point, and I think the more we can use social media and Twitter and all those different things to try and encourage people to plant a flag, the more that will happen.
I just like everyone to do it. Wave that flag. Stand up and do it for themselves, which is what I did 5 years ago. There's too many metaphors, there's too much hidden stuff in it. I'd just like it to be seen.